So I'm mad. The first impressions video effed up and I can't upload it. Thanks, OBS. We're going to be talking today about the U70 from Bang & Olufsen of Denmark. Now, the thing is, this headphone is not an ordinary headphone. It is not a dynamic headphone. It's not a magnetic planar, and it's not an electrostatic. It is a orthodynamic headphone. Interesting. I've never owned one of these. I hope to own more of them because they sound insane. They sound insane. So, the box, okay? Unboxing. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I honestly can't do anything for what happened to the video, but basically the unboxing experience is above par. Like, this is actually, I believe there should be a sleeve on this, but it's above par. Very nice feeling box. Beautiful art here. I think this is like a, what's that word? I think Da Vinci has like a drawing of the human body, and it's like probably paying homage to that. Nothing on the box, it's just super duper basic here. But it does tell you at the top here some technical data like the frequency range from 16 Hz to 20,000 Hz, 140 impedance, distortion that is less than 1%, and a weight of 300 grams. And I believe that, okay? I freaking believe that, all right? I don't know how else I have to say. I believe that distortion, and I'll talk about that in a moment. You do get this pamphlet. Now, I don't know if this pamphlet actually comes with the box. Maybe the owner gave it to me. I did try to... he mentioned it was brand new and it came with extra pads, but I think he lied. I didn't get the extra pads, and this looks like someone touched it. So, I'm sad. But, stereo headphone U70 from B&O. And it does talk about not turning up the volume, also the kind of acceptable impedance ranges for the... whatever receiver you're probably plugging this into for amplification for your sound, of course. Gives you a little bit of that information. It also talks about shows the receiver. Oh man, if I were to get one of those receivers, that'd be kind of cool. Or probably it's a headphone amplifier. Talks about the height adjustment in the fitting to the ear, which is super duper important for me to cover, because that literally took a majority of the time when I was doing the unboxing. And we do have some stats here. So, it's a stereo headphone, cool. It's an orthodynamic headphone. 8 milliwatts at 94 dB, which I believe is the reason why it's not efficient. 2 watts, again, it tells us the frequency range of 16 Hz to 20,000 Hz, impedance of 140 ohms, and it has less than 1% distortion. Now, this weighs 300 grams, and I kind of beg to differ. This is a heavy headphone. This is a heavy headphone. This is completely plastic. It looks like there's metal on this, but there isn't. Like, this I think is just some cheap plated aluminum or whatever, or like thin aluminum that they just put on this, and then that looks like it's chromed plastic. Like, can you believe that? Chromed plastic? Ay, ay, ay. This headphone's disgusting. Okay? Also has this very horrible thin cable that if you ran over it... this is the same cable, I swear. Same cable manufacturer that made the freaking Sennheiser, the 600s. Like, if you got the original 600s at some point, or the 580s, you'll know what I mean, okay? It's not the new, thick, nice, beautiful cable that comes with the 650 or the 660. This is just a horrible cable. And it does terminate to a 1/4 inch, but they do include an adapter right over here. This mono 3.5 millimeter. What the frick is up with that? Okay, so no use to me, but it does come with this. This is a stereo 1/4 inch, and if you unscrew this, this has been pretty well kept. I would say that I have a few years of a function on that, which is pretty great. It hasn't really oxidized anywhere besides the outside, so that's probably where I'm going to be forced to have to do repairs or to replaces once this really makes no contact with the stuff anymore. My headphone amps. Now, let's talk about a little bit more about the build. I mentioned there's like an arts and crafts like a material that's like a very spongy, like squishy whatever. And it's got like an adhesive at the bottom. Like basically what this pleather a head strap feels like. It's gross. It's horrible. Feels like I'm gonna tear it if I put it on my head. And on top of that, this plastic design reminiscent of Beyerdynamics, like 990s and 880s of the early generations. It's got like a plastic headband and then this pleather material or leather material, I believe, on Beyerdynamics. It's real leather that goes on the inside. Now you do have head strap adjustment that is over here, and it is stepped, which is nice. You can maybe hear that. Beautiful. I love that. Okay, goes pretty tall. At some point, when you reach all the way to whatever this, I think it's in millimeters. I'm gonna pray it's in millimeters. Adjustment control there. Okay, and now articulation. You're probably wondering, how does this articulate? Well, ear control controls two things. Okay, one, when you click ear control, this get this. All right, get this. Like oh my god, the aluminum's already coming off. Can you believe that? This headphone was bought by me and nobody else, huh? So, anyways, ear control. What it does is that when you release this, it pivots here, okay? It allows for the cup to move in and also rotate like this. So it can move in, a little bit out, and then rotate around like that. So that's the articulation that you have on this headphone. You have no means of clamp, and the clamp is very tight. Okay, it's a pretty tight clamp actually. So if you have a big head, this probably gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt like a bitch. And then on top of that, all right, on top of that, the pads, they look plush, but they're not. Okay, can I just make that clear? That's not plush. All right, maybe they need to be broken in or something, but that's just stiff ass foam. All right, I don't know. I don't know what these guys were thinking when they made it, but then, okay, that's not all. That's not all. The cup shape, that looks so small. Like, if I whipped out bears, you'll think that these are gigantic, okay? Maybe there's something else. Maybe it's the bevel, it's something like that, because you know what's weird? Let me switch cameras. Let me switch freaking cameras, and let me put this on for you. Okay, and I'll go through the whole shebang once again. I'll reset this myself, which is just pain. It's hell. Okay, so that's now in the middle, I think. And then we have to press this in. This is the more whack side. Okay, it's in the middle now. There's like teeth in there that's like on the inside here when you release it, and it like fits in these little notches, which I will artificially release and show you. There's these little notches right here, and this little thing that's just completely open, a big gap. Okay, it's a big gap, and then the cup just moves through there, like a little channel. So let's put this on. Okay, let me reset it first. Jesus, it just feels so horrible. And mind you, it's heavy. It's heavy as hell. Like this, night and day. AKG, AKG M220s, basically K240 Studios, night and day. Okay, we're at the lowest setting because that's what was comfortable for my head. And then we're just going to click these two buttons in there, and we're going to let it adjust to my head a little bit more. It's going to fit nice and snug. And then all my complaints disappear. That was my realization the first time I recorded this video, is that everything I said about this thing, I wanted to take back. I wanted to take back. It surprisingly is comfy. I can describe the hug. It's like Sennheiser's hugging your head. If you remember what your brand new Sennheiser, okay, freaking 600s, 650s, 660s, or your brand new 580s, how they felt on your head when they hugged you for the first time, that's the clamping force on this. Will that relieve over time? I don't know. This is plastic. It's not metal. Okay, maybe it's reinforced with metal, but I highly doubt that. It's got nice, tight clamp force. Okay, I've said that multiple times already. What else does it have? The pads are actually big. Like, they remind me of Sony's. So if you have ever owned Sony 7506s or worn Sony V6s, Sony CD900 STs, they're all the same pad. That's the same case with this. And I was complaining about how stiff this was. But in reality, it's not that stiff. And if you want to relieve some of the head pressure, just feeling it right now, you can raise this just a little bit. And that will just make it fit on your head. Like, I think the way that you're supposed to do this is you put it all the way at the bottom. You put it on your head, and then you adjust with that freaking ear control release thing. And then from there, you basically lift this up all the way once you get the angle right on your ear, because you'll feel it's kind of like again, the hug is so tight, and it reminds me of Stax, like the Stax pads, if you've ever seen them before. Okay, they're weirdly shaped because they actually fit kind of behind your ear. So these articulate and they lock in that position to just create that seal around your head, and then from there you can just tighten this to your desire, and then silence. There's definitely a few dB of isolation. It isn't to the extent if I would say to Bear Dynamics. Definitely a little better than semi-opens, since these are closed back headphones. Now, when I first played the test track, which was Michael Jackson's Thriller, I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna plug in my headphones. I thought 140 ohms was supposed to be easy to drive, but I didn't read. Okay, like the SPL or the efficiency of the drivers and stuff, I'm not so keen on that, and I wanted to better myself. And I have a feeling that these are just as inefficient as AKGs, but here's the catch: they are not as bad to drive as AKGs. They're as inefficient, I think, but they're not as bad. Whatever technology that is in Orthodynamics allows for the driver at 140 ohms to require a high gain on the Magni 3, and we're way past 4 o'clock, okay? But comfortable listening levels is at 3. But I was tempted to keep going, and that's exactly what they were saying about the distortion and that whole deal of like, oh, be careful if you're listening because you might hurt yourself. Yeah, I believe that, because I wanted to just grab that knob and keep going. And I wish that the knob was infinite so that I can just keep going. These things can get loud, and these things will not distort on you. And at the same time, they will. The U70s are going to surprise you at how comfortable they can be. Now, when I do the test with the mini DSPs, I think that adjustment's going to be more easier than ever, because if I need it to stay, it will stay. But now here's the catch. All right, trying to keep this video short, but literally can't. Here's the catch: the U70s are not made anymore. They're vintages. They are definitely as hard to drive as AKGs, so you're gonna need something that's powerful to drive these. I haven't plugged them into the receiver setup that I made, so I'm gonna try it on the Viking, and I'm also gonna try it on the Sony receiver. But the thing is, these are on the level of flat and uncolored that I like. Now, when I switch back to AKGs, the M220s, they just felt shouty in the mids, like they normally should be. They're for vocals. But why is it that these can be so close and intimate? Because these are closed back headphones. They will suffer with soundstage, and I feel like they suffer with soundstage. They are as close or maybe tighter in proximity, similar to Sennheiser's. Maybe more. But they their clarity is really good and their speed is phenomenal. For a headphone that a driver I've never tried before, and from a brand that still makes headphones. So Bang and Olufsen, if they're making more, if they're still making headphones, which they are, I am kind of tempted now to give a listen to their new modern headphones and see what it is that they've learned and what it is that they are doing, because some of their headphones are expensive, so it'll take a bit, but it'd be very very nice to get a hand on what else they've been up to since then, since this. But man, am I surprised? Like, was bashing the hell out of this headphone, but I ended up loving it. Like, that typically doesn't happen. Um, or maybe it does. Maybe it does. Anyways, I normally love sound so much. I don't really care what kind of headphone it is and also what it looks like. But yeah, these are just ridiculous and finicky. Like, again, I really hate the way that this has to adjust. It is a pain. It is a pain, okay? I honestly hate it. But if you can get behind, or if you can get, what's that word? If you can get past the way that this has to adjust on your ear, which again is just horrific, okay? If you can get past that, you have yourself a headphone here that is just crazy. How it fits, how it feels, how it sounds. Orthodynamics. I need more of these. I need more of these. Take care. Be safe.